Well, let's do the AFC. Let us get into the power rankings for the AFC conference. We usually go 1 to 5, right? So,
Yep.
Mhm.
all right. Should we circle around? Who wants to start with their number
I'll
one team
I'll
in
start.
the conference?
I think it's obvious. Broncos are playing really good ball right now. 12-win team already at this point. Best record in football. I mean, you have to put them at one at this point. Um, there's a side to them that I guess it's like your record says you're good, but I don't know if I trust that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I watch the Broncos play, it's like, listen, they're going to suffocate you. This defense is really good, right? But at the same time, it's like they slip up every once in a while, and Bo Nix for me is just not somebody that I feel like would be in this situation. You know what I mean? Like it's intriguing about this team, but they are playing really well, and I have to respect it, and that's why they're number one.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with everything that you had said, and that's exactly how I was feeling about the Broncos until this past week, right? Like again, there was a lot of concern about like, oh, they didn't really play anyone good, but then they went in, they played the Packers, and any concern that you had about Bo Nix not being a passer that wants to throw the football beyond 5 or 10 yards went out the window because he did that at a very efficient rate. And again, it's like he's now proven that he can do it. It's just a matter of how often he wants to do it, but he did it at a good level. Uh, I'm right there with you. I would be shocked if Matt wasn't as well. Broncos are my number one team in the AFC as well.
Yeah, they're my number one, and neither of you mentioned why they are number one. The defense. The defense is incredible. Like it's second to only Houston, and I think Seattle is probably in that tier. But what they have found along that front, and just being able to squeeze the end of the game against the Packers, where it's just a 4-man rush and everybody sit back, play your zones, and nobody's going to be in trouble. And oh, by the way, they have the defensive player of the year at corner. So like again,
Mm-hmm.
just the defense is so suffocating that you can have a half where Jordan Love was incredible. They scored 23 points in the first 35-ish minutes of the game, and they have the explosive run by Jacobs. After that, they scored 3 points, and in the red zone they were 1 for 4. So again, like just what that defense is able to do against a team like that, and then I mean, the Bo Nix conversation continues to just be so much fun for me because I don't know if you guys can agree, is because every time I watch him play in these high leverage moments, I go, he just played the best game of football I've ever seen him
Mm-hmm.
play. Like the half against the Chiefs, where he makes every throw happen. He made every throw happen against Green Bay, like off schedule, down the right sideline. The throw to Sutton for the touchdown, it's if you put blue and 17, you're saying like, oh, that's Josh Allen, like how good it is
Yeah.
down that sideline. And so again, I can't disagree with anything. Like, and this isn't just a team that's like, well, they got the most wins, so put them at one for me. Like this really is like now a Super Bowl team for me in the last like 3-ish weeks.
Absolutely.
Um, my number two slot. Despite the fact they just lost to the Bills, I'm going to put them at number two.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Reason
where we get
being
fun.
is
This is where it's
strictly
fun.
because I don't think that loss was indicative of who this team really is. I feel like they are better than what people are saying, and I understand. Trust me, as a Bears fan, you haven't played anybody. That argument, you win games, right? Drake May is playing MVP level football. He's really good, right? And you've got the coach of the year, in my opinion, on the sidelines as well. And when you've got that as a tandem, and you're able to squeeze out these wins, and I would assume, right, and it's not going to happen. Obviously, they've played each other twice, but like in the scenario we could get a rematch in the playoffs, I'm not taking the Bills over them right now. This is a really tough team. They're hungry, and I think the sky's the limit for them going forward. But right now, yeah, I've got the Patriots at two.
It was I'll spoil it. It was the Patriots and Bills are either team is 2 and 3 for me. The
Yep.
Patriots are at number 3. Bills will be at number 2 because they just beat them, which is like tough because I would like to be like, oh, the Patriots are a better team, but we just saw them play this past weekend at Gillette Stadium where they lost, right? And the Bills, when they want to turn it on, they can. And I just still have questions about the talent level on the Patriots. They're a lot of fun to watch, and I really, really do enjoy it. But X's and O's only gets you so far if you don't have the Jimmy and Joes, right? And it's Drake May and who else? And so
Yep.
it's not really even the Patriots. It's Drake May and Henderson and a whole bunch of other guys there, right? So I would really like to put the Patriots at 2, but again, we just saw the Bills beat them. That's why the Bills are at 2. And again, when the Bills want to turn it on, they absolutely can. We had seen it in the second half. I still have my own concerns, especially when it comes to that run defense. In a game in which they won, that run defense popped its ugly head twice with Henderson there. But aside from that, like I don't have a whole lot of concerns because again, when you have 17 playing quarterback there, you can really get a lot of things done. That's why the Bills are going to be at 2 and the Patriots are at 3.
I also have the Bills at 3. It was definitely a toss up for sure.
Yeah.
I felt like that game was just like a fluke. You know what I mean? So, but the Bills, yes, very good. And I hope that Josh Allen can take advantage of this window that he has in the playoffs right now because Mahomes has been his kryptonite for a very long time. And he's kind of like he's the dude that you kind of want to root for. You know what I mean? Like the more social media stuff that gets put out, like he's just a fun guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Matt, yes. Second place.
I have the Bills at 2. Again, I think you mentioned the point. I think in a conference that somehow this season feels like it's lacking the top end guys. Like we're on the precipice of a Mahomes-less, Lamar-less, Burrow-less AFC, and those are kind of the four horsemen with Josh Allen. And so I think Allen is puts his team above a level. The fact that he can do what he did in the second half, and it's not just all him. Like James Cook was incredible. He killed me in fantasy this week. Like I mean, this guy he took over the game, and that's another thing is like this run game has real substance to it that you can lean on it in these big spots. You can lean on it when you're down 17 at half, and it still is able to just grind a team like New England into the dust when needed. And yeah, when you have Josh Allen, it's really I'm still very skeptical of the defense, but I think they have enough
Yes.
stars that I think they can piece it together in a playoff game just because they've all been there before. Like Benford just missed this most recent game against New England, and it really, really showed. I think Rousseau can make some plays, and Milano as like a spy was incredible
Yeah.
in this game. Like it was only his second multi-sacks game of his career. So again, I think they have the star power just enough that I put them over my number third team, which is not New England. So I
Ooh.
should I
Well,
just
who
get
is your
right into?
number?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and reveal it.
I have Jacksonville at 3.
Okay.
I think Jacksonville is playing at a level that, listen, this is when us Trevor Lawrence stockholders have our monthly meeting. This is gonna be a fun one for us because he's playing the best stretch of football in his career, and the offense feels fresh. It feels multiple. I think what you're able to do with ETN and Tootin, and I think Tootin is one of the
Yeah.
guys to mention in like the injury tent, but still like this is the best run game of his career, and I think it's showing everything else. And yeah, I get it's the Jets, I get it's the Titans, and even like the Colts a week before, and the Colts are kind of on a downslope. Like still seeing him play at this level is impressive, and it's something to make note of. And so I've loved it. And then again, the defense, like the defense by any metric you look at, is top 10 and everywhere. I think they're incredible. They have a top 5 turnover differential, and they're not a team like, I'm going to rag on your Bears a little bit here, Ryan.
That's
They're
fine.
not completely dependent on the turnovers. It's not like we get gash downfield, and then we get a red zone turnover. They kind of create these short fields on opportunities and just get after you with star level talent. Like Antonio Johnson the undrafted free agent from a few years ago, he might be one of the best safeties in football. I don't think any I don't you could go on the street, I don't think anybody knows his name. He's been incredible this year. And so I'm willing to buy into Jacksonville now. I think there is a tip on Jacksonville just because of the overall nature of them. But I think we have a fun one this weekend with them traveling to Denver.
I had
Absolutely.
Jacksonville at my 4, so I'm right there with you. That it is exactly what I expected when Liam Cohen stepped into that head coaching spot. For those of you that have been listening for a long time, if it wasn't going to be Ben Johnson in Chicago, I was pounding the table for Liam Cohen. It's fun to see him work out with a guy like Trevor Lawrence because of that reason. The guy is, we did a film review on him in the preseason. I was excited to see exactly what he could put together, and the dude is doing exactly what we wanted him to do at that point. It really sucks because I wish that Travis Hunter could be a part of this. You know what I mean? And so I could watch a little bit more and see where he fit in. The injury really, really sucks, but I'm really excited to see this game this week, though, like you were mentioning, to see exactly where we're going to be able to put these teams at the end. Because, Ben, not to completely, poo-poo on your parade, but I know that you were right there with you. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's another competitive team in their division, and that is my number 5 spot in Houston. So, I'm bringing that up just temporarily now so we could talk about them later. But, it's going to be interesting these next 3 weeks to see how these things pay out, because it's can this be sustainable for Jacksonville? Can they go ahead and win the division when we thought it was up and away Indy for the first half of the season? Or, you know what I mean? Because it seems like they're in the rearview mirror between these two teams. So I'm excited to talk about Houston, but Jacksonville definitely deserves their flowers, and that's why they're at 4 over Houston at 5.
Yeah, yep. Jacksonville's right there at 4 for me. Love the Antonio Johnson shout out, especially considering how we talked about him 2 years ago. People loved him, and people were like, "Oh, he might be a first round pick," and then had bad. Yeah. I digress. For all the reasons that y'all two had Jacksonville at 3 and 4, it's the reason I have them at 4. I don't need to echo everything that you guys are saying. I'm assuming that the Patriots are 4 for you, Matt.
They're 5.
5. Okay. Well, my 5 is the same as Ryan's 5, so I'm assuming my 5 is your 4. Mine's
Yes.
the Texans. Okay. Well, perfect. I'll do the Texans here. Again, Texans are the 5th team for me here within the power rankings, and all of that obviously stems mainly from everything that they are doing on the defensive side of the football. This team is an absolute tank. Have fun getting past them on the defensive side of the football, because they have the dudes on the back end to lock you down, mixed with a set of arguably the best tandem of pass rushers in all of football. And you're saying all of this and all this great thing that they're doing on the defensive side of the football is occurring all at the same time that CJ Stroud is finally finding his stride, and the offensive line is put together a couple good games. It took us a long time to get there, but they're finally, again, have put together a couple of good games to keep CJ Stroud upright enough to allow him to show why everyone loved him last year and why everyone really liked him going into this year. And again, it just seems the same, obviously for different reasons, but kind of the same way that we were talking about Jacksonville. It's the same way we're going to be talking about the Texans, and they're just finding their stride on offense and letting their defense carry them along the way. That's why the Texans are number 5 for me. But you're the high man on the Texans here at 4 compared to our 5. So
Yeah, I think it's kind of a tiebreaker with them in New England to me. I think the overall passing game of New England is outweighs what Houston can do, but the defense margin for me is just so great that I'm going to take Houston right now. Just because, and another part of it is like I have faith that Stroud and this offense do figure it out in the playoffs, where I don't have that same like belief in New England when it gets even more high leverage. The defense is going to play better. I don't know and so yeah, you mentioned the pass rushers everywhere. There's a star player. Like just every like Lassiter has turned into a star CB2. We know what Stingley is. We know what Al-Shair is, but also Henry To'oTo'o is coming into his own next to him. Like it's just they have players all over the defense, and then they have probably one of the best minds in football in D'Amico Ryans, who is just attack, attack, attack. And so again, it's an incredible defense, and I mean every bet they've made on getting a good player on the defensive end they have made.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already like Ben said, you guys already tackled that as far as the Texans for me. So I'm not going to necessarily echo it too much. Shall we get into the other conference?
Well, really quickly, Ryan and then Matt, and then I'll go last. What is your 1 through 5 in order?
Yes, for the AFC, I have the Broncos at 1, Patriots at 2, Bills at 3, Jaguars at 4, Texans at 5.
I had the Broncos 1, Bills 2, Jaguars 3, Texans 4, Patriots 5.
There you go. And I had Broncos at 1, Bills at 2, Patriots at 3, Jags at 4, and Texans at 5.
I would have the Chiefs just missing out because of EPA.
Get the
That's a whole full circle.
full circle.
All right, let's move into the